We're back.
Hey, we are
again.
Yeah,
This was
It feels like it was just yesterday that
This
we were
was quick.
that we were at the Midwest Gaming Classic in 2021.
That's right. It's the Midwest Gaming Classic 2022.
Yeah, it's been only
5 months.
5 months. 5 months. Yeah,
6 months, maybe.
So they made up for last year not hosting it in April like they normally do, and now in 2022 they're back to their normal operating schedule. So now it is April 2022, and we are back.
That's
at the
right.
Midwest Gaming Classic.
The Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin, at the Wisconsin Center. Cannot wait.
I can't either, man. What kind of shit you looking for?
I am looking for a lot of PlayStation 1 games, a lot of PlayStation 2 games, a lot of survival horror, and just things here and there that anything that catches my fancy, that's what I want.
Anything that catches your fancy.
Yeah, like display pieces.
Yeah,
I love like old Nintendo display things.
Oh yeah.
If only I could find like one of those trash cans that they have here that are not like $300. I don't know why everybody is charging like between $300 and $600 for them, but
to throw your trash in.
Yeah, just throw the trash in.
I'm looking for kind of the same because I've been on survival horror lately.
He's copying me.
I am a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
a little too late. But Blood Will Tell is my big one.
Yes.
For the PS2, that's a biggie. Or Illbleed for the Dreamcast is a pretty famous one, but that's also expensive.
Yes.
So it'll be one or the other, I think.
And actually, this is the first year that one is on both of our lists, so you may actually end up seeing a fist fight. No, but Obscure for the PlayStation 2. Could be for the Xbox, but he wants PlayStation 2. I, at this point, do not lean one way or the other because I don't have Obscure the Aftermath. And so I don't know. I could go either way.
Technically, Blue Stinger is on your list
and
too.
Blue
And
Stinger,
that's the one I've been looking for. I have the guide for it, so I think I should have precedence because I do have a guide. And
we'll see it. We'll see about that.
We'll see about that.
We'll see about that.
But yeah, so we'll see you guys inside and see what we come up with.
Yeah.
Well, they have it on a different floor this year. Instead of the second floor, we're on the first floor. It's a little bit dimmer lighting. I don't know if it's bigger or not, but it's definitely in a different spot.
Cheers.
Cheers to another Midwest Gaming Classic.
To another Midwest Gaming Classic. 2022 is in the books.
That is good. That is good.
It is very, very good.
Mackenzie's Black Cherry Hard Cider. The best thing to happen to this day. So, we're back, obviously. So I know normally we would put a video of our walking around. We didn't do that this year.
No, not this year.
Mainly because we might as well jump into overall impressions. Fucking disappointing is an understatement.
It definitely was actually overall a pretty disappointing day. Not only just with the games and the caliber that we saw there,
Yeah.
but the prices this year more than any other year were just they went up, and there's really not a whole lot of reason like for the explanation. Like I don't know why people charged as much as they did.
Considering 6 months ago, in November, when this classic happened last year.
So 5 months ago.
So 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Sorry. Prices were on point.
It was honestly, I think that was one of the things that we said, is that
Yes.
the prices were like on point in November.
Watch our Midwest Gaming Classic video from last year. We'll go on and on about how good the prices were.
Yeah, we actually found some really great stuff. We found great games at the 2021 Classic. The prices were on point. If they were either they were around like what price charting was at the time. A few of them were about
Within $10.
$10 off, but some of them were like $10 to $20 under what price charting
Yes.
was. We didn't see any of that this year. In fact, we saw quite the opposite, where most of the prices of some of the bigger items were actually hundreds, if not thousands of dollars more than they should have been.
50 to 100% markup on some of these games.
Yeah.
It was, without a doubt, the worst classic we've ever been to.
And it's funny because, I mean, I actually ended up buying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. You bought one game. And
bought one.
And some guys, we were actually struggling to find things to buy.
Yes.
And that may have actually been because of the fact that this classic was a little bit too close in proximity to the other classic.
Maybe.
But the prices that people were asking for things, that was not indicative of the classic being so soon after the last one.
No.
There was no reason for it.
Because there was, for all intents and purposes, there were good things there. There were good finds. We didn't take video, but we did manage to take a bunch of pictures of some of these items and like what we saw.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll show you like how inflated these prices are.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's get into what we actually did get. So I'll kick us off.
Okay.
So the one game I did get was Pokemon Stadium 2.
Because you're going down.
Because I want to do a special where Paul and I face off in all of the Stadium games that came out here.
And so Andy will lose in every single one.
Stadium 2, Coliseum, and Battle Revolution, I think, are the only of 4 games that came out
I think so, yeah.
So I got this for $75. Higher than price charting.
Price charting's about $66.
So not terribly. Yeah. Honestly, not a bad price. I'm okay with this. It wasn't my first thing to buy because I wasn't really looking for it. But I know it's one that we do need because we wanted to do this special, but Pokemon Stadium 2 is the one that we just neither of us had. Mm-hmm. So I said, you know what?
But that in and of itself is actually, that wasn't the first one we saw.
No.
That was actually one of the last ones that we saw.
I think we saw 4 total.
But we saw 2 tables that both had Pokemon Stadium 2 for $90. So almost $30 more than what it's trending for right now.
I did see another table that had 2 copies, but the copies were worse for wear.
Mm-hmm.
And I did see that same table had a complete copy.
Pokemon Stadium 2?
Pokemon Stadium 2. I want to see exactly what that goes for, but...
Yeah, that's an expensive one.
Pokemon Stadium 2... Complete, $263. They wanted $300.
Oh, okay, so it's, and it's still...
What you would expect!
It's a regular...
From this year.
Convention markup.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Well, as we've mentioned, usually when we talk about convention prices... You're talking maybe $20,
$10 to $20.
20
yes.
Higher than what it goes for.
10 to 20 is what you would expect for a convention because yes, and this is where I sympathize, I empathize with the dealers who are there. Is that yes, they paid the price for their booth, so they got to have certain markups so that they can try to recoup because everything that they are charging for their games that they're selling, they first have to basically pay to get back the money for their booth, and then everything on top of that is their profit. So I can understand a $10 to $20 markup, but we weren't seeing that.
No,
we weren't seeing that at all.
No. And after we go over our finds, we'll go through the pictures and I'll put them up on screen for you guys to see as we go through. But
you just want to go through yours and then I'll go through mine.
Yeah, I might as well.
Yeah.
Besides the one fucking game, I did get a couple of guides I was looking for. Pokemon Ranger for the DS. Mm-hmm. Yes, the DS. I ended up getting these for Christmas. And I like these games a lot. I forgot how much I like them. Mm-hmm. So I got all 3, but I wanted the guide for that one.
Cool.
And then another one.
Oh, Beyond
the Beyond. For $10.
Very nice.
The price reflects the quality.
Oh, gotcha.
It is.
Oh, it's worse for the wear.
A little beat up.
Yeah.
A little beat up. And it's the unauthorized. It's Prima's Beyond Beyond unauthorized.
Yeah. Prima was.
But Prima
is a big guide company, but yeah, this was before they actually were like one of the big ones, and so they had to put the totally unauthorized.
But I had never seen a Beyond the Beyond guide. It's a very good game, top notch. I'm pretty sure it's by Camelot. Camelot did the Shining series, the Golden Sun series, so it's good company. This game is really good, and I'm actually happy I found this guide here. There were not a lot of guides at this convention.
No.
The guides were very sparse, and the ones that they did have were not great. I did see Chrono Cross, which that re-release just happened, the Radical Dreamers edition on the Switch and all that, and so they wanted like 70 or 80 for that. I don't think it goes for that much, but I already had it, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I got those two, and then I got some like art book ones. So I got like Suikoden 5 was one that you really don't see these kinds of things very often. Arts Hanelico for the PS2, little art book. Growlancer Generations art book, and then one of my favorite games of all time, Magna Carta 2 art book. Nice big boobas right on the cover.
Boobas.
Well, it's nice big old boob. The women.
Wow.
The women are thick.
Oh, you weren't kidding.
No, not at all.
Geez.
They're very buxom women and very, very big thighs. It's very sexy. It's a very sexy series. But I'm very happy with these. Probably overpaid because each of these went for $20. The guy knocked 10 off of one because I bought 4.
Yeah, so $70 for all 4 of them. So you basically paid about $15 to $17.
80, 95 plus 75. That's
160, 170.
So I spent about 165 to 170
Yeah.
total. Very dismal for me, considering that's usually the price of one game. At what I would normally get. That's all I got. That's fucking all I got. Crusader Senti almost cost me more than that. All right,
Almost.
your turn.
Okay. It's hard to top that one. So, I actually did not find a whole heck of a lot that was actually on my list this year. But the first game that I actually bought at this classic, and it's a funny story, which we'll go into.
I'm not really sure why he bought it.
Aladdin in Nazira's Revenge.
Who's Nazira?
I don't know who Nazira is. I think he was... No, I don't know who he was.
Is it a she genie?
I don't think so.
A sheenie.
But this game, we saw it at the very first table that we were at.
Yes.
They wanted $60 for it. And I'm like, what the hell is up with this game that it's a $60 game?
Yeah.
Then I found a table that had it for $30. And I thought, oh, okay, well, that one's half price, but $30, that's still really expensive for this game. Then I found this one for $16. So I'm like, that's it. All right, I'm getting this one because guess what? First one was $60. Screw you guys. This one's $16. The price that it probably should have been.
And that's complete?
And it's complete. Yeah, it's got the instruction booklet.
Wow.
The disc. The genie's right on there.
You got that for half of what it goes for. Complete, $29. Loose, $19.39. You got it for under fucking loose, baby! And that one that had it for $60? That's the new price.
And it wasn't sealed, I can tell you that much. It wasn't a sealed game.
So that's indicative of what we're going to be touching on in a bit.
Yeah. So this one was actually my big purchase, because this was actually a game that I was looking for. So Countdown Vampires
For the PS1.
for the PS1. A little bit of
a little bit of glare. There you go.
So he wanted 150. So I asked for 140. He was okay with it, but what ended up happening was I ended up finding another game called Dracula: The Resurrection, and this one was 15. So he said 150 for both of them, and I thought, you know what, that's a pretty good deal.
What did you get Countdown Vampires for?
Technically 140.
That's not bad.
Actually, well, technically 135.
Complete, it goes for 130. So that's pretty much right on the mark.
So yeah, exactly. And then Dracula: The Resurrection I think is a pretty cheap game. I think it's like $10, but
sure.
It wasn't bad. I was happy with that.
Countdown Vampires, I'm pretty sure is a light gun game, so I mean it should be pretty good. I feel like I remember playing it once.
It is not a light gun game.
I thought it was.
Maybe it's not, but it's one player, 3 memory block or 3 blocks of memory, and vibration function compatible.
Oh, maybe I could have sworn it was. Maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game.
Ooh, this case needs to be changed out though.
Yes, it does. No, I think I'm thinking of a different game.
And disc 2. Yep.
Okay.
They're all there. Okay.
I thought it was kind of, it played like a House of the Dead kind of game. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm full of it.
So, but yeah, that can easily be changed.
Well, there you go.
So I found it was the box and manual only for Mario Kart DS. Now the funny thing about this game is
just tilt it. Tilt.
There you go. There we go. So the funny thing about this game is I bought it a long time ago on, I want to say the DS, and it was kart only, and it's probably one of my few DS games that's only like kart only. However, though, I can't remember if it was Mario Kart DS or if it was Mario Kart 7 that I have just the disc for. So hopefully it's Mario Kart DS. Otherwise, I just bought the case and the instruction booklet for $10 for a game that I don't have. So,
well, now you can find it.
So yeah, there you go. So now here was another that each of these was $40, but the guy ended up taking about I think he took $70 for the both of them. Okay. So one that I had been looking for a while now, The Suffering. So he finally, I found one that was $40 is what he was asking for it, which I was fine. Like that was my magic number right there.
Yeah.
Is this game, I kept seeing it pop up for about $75 or $60. And I'm like, no, the game is just, it's not worth that much. So I was looking for 40, finally found 40, and I'm like, yep, I gotta get it. And then I saw a game called Home Sweet Home. Have you ever heard of this one?
I've never heard of it.
It sounds like it actually is a scary game, and like it might be survival horror. So so when I saw it, I'm like, man, that's a creepy looking cover, and I thought, yeah, I wanna try it out. So why not?
It says VR. Oh, mode included. Okay,
VR mode included.
You don't need it.
So you don't need VR, which I do not have. And
yeah,
stupid little old me asked after I bought the game if it was compatible without the VR, and the guy actually did tell me, he's like, yeah,
it's the first in a new series of terrifying games. Go to homesweethome.com.
Does it not have an instruction booklet?
PS4 won't.
Oh, okay. So none of the PS4 games had instruction booklets. Yeah,
which makes you wonder why they even have a spot for it. If you look inside, there's like clips for where one would be.
For where it should be.
There's never a manual in there.
No,
it's fucking stupid. Like
that's sad.
That era of gaming is over.
So then I also got, and this is something that I've wanted to get for a long time, and just never pulled the trigger on, but Donkey Kong 64.
Harder to find than you'd think.
It honestly is, actually. You don't find too many of these, except for people wanting to charge like $50 and $40 for it when it's not that.
It's about like a $26, $27 game, maybe?
Yeah, so we ended up finding this one for, I want to say it was like $30. And
30,
so it was, so it was a good deal.
It was on point. It was on point.
This is just because I've got Pokemon Leaf Green, I've got the game, the box, the instruction manual, and it also came with the wireless adapter for the Game Boy Advance. Now I've got that game technically complete. It was $15, and I
fucking stupid.
Why not? You know what? Why not? And then, because this is exactly what you expect to find at a video game convention, I found comic books.
Comic books.
So 2 comics for $1 a piece. Just because I also do collect comic books, so that was unexpected to see.
Oh no!
In there.
Show that.
I'm not gonna no.
Show it.
No.
This is a companion video. If you watched our Video Games Monthly series, the third one we did, Paul got Jurassic Park.
I did. I got Jurassic Park: The Lost World, and
try taking it out of there.
I tried taking it out of the case that they threw it in.
Paul tried to play it.
I wanted to play it, so I tried to take it out of the case, and the disc instantly cracked.
Snapped it.
Yeah, it snapped once I
Paul
pulled it out
broke
of there.
it, so he's out $9 or whatever the fuck it was worth.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking remember.
Well.
Hilarious.
Yep.
So now he's down that game.
We'll never get to play it.
So yes, those are.
So that's So that's the pickups. So it ended up being, I think, 6 games, 2 comics, and an adapter.
My one game, a couple of art books, and a couple of guides.
Yeah.
Overall, Paul and I spent...
My total that I spent was probably close to $300. That's it, $300. Which, I mean, yeah, it may be a lot of money, but with what we have spent in previous classics, that's
This is peanuts.
That's nothing.
That's
nothing. I was not
less,
expecting it.
That's less than I would have spent if I found Blood Will Tell. Blood Will Tell right now is about $350. I would have easily dropped $350.
And you never found a copy of
Never found a copy!
Nope.
I didn't find a copy of a lot of shit! In fact, let me go over my wish list of all the things I was looking for, everybody. Dino Crisis 1, 2, and 3. I never found 3. I found a couple of 1s and a 2. All overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
I think we saw a shitload or a couple or those few Dino Crisis 1s. What would you say they were? Like 70, 80?
Oh, they were at least 70. I think one was 70, 2 that I found were 80.
Dino Crisis 45.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bother to look up 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because, fuck, why? So, yep, so Blood Will Tell, never saw. Carrier for the Wii, or excuse me, Calling for the Wii.
Never found that
Didn't see one copy.
Nope.
Carrier for the Dreamcast. Nothing. Obscure for the PS2. Close. We found it for the Xbox.
We did, and it was slightly overpriced, convention overpriced, but like it was actually only $20 overpriced, so not.
It wasn't
terrible.
too bad. It was like $150, I think.
It was $140. $140.
Oh,
was what
yeah,
they were
and I
asking.
think it goes for about $130 right now. So at least we found a non-PS2 copy. Cursed Mountain. We found 2 copies, which were okay priced, I guess.
One was.
One was
not.
One was like the collector's edition that came in a steel
No, I
book.
found the other one that I found for
Yeah.
40 was the steelbook one.
I thought the other one was the steelbook, the one for 80.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one was 82.
Oh, both of them.
Both of them.
Oh.
One was 80, the other one was 40.
Yeah, those go for like 23, by the
Uh-huh.
way. That game's not that expensive. Rad, Robotic Alchemic Drive for the PS2. Who even knows what the fuck that game is? I found 1 copy for 140. It goes for 100. And 4, I believe. $104, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I don't even think it goes for that.
It was 104.
Something like that.
That's what you had said.
Crimson Tears for the PS2. Didn't see it. Tokobot Plus for the PS2. Didn't see it. Knight's Contract for the PS3. Didn't fucking see it.
Nope.
They didn't see shit.
Actually, I think I was able to cross off 1, 2, 3 games off my list.
You didn't cross off shit. No, you
Well,
were.
no,
Looking you were looking for Countdown Vampires.
I was. And Dracula, the Resurrection. And Suffering.
So
But I'm looking at my, like, some of the games that are on my wish list. Hold on. Castlevania, Lords of Shadow, Mirror of Fate. I am never going to find that one.
I did find that.
Are you serious?
I did. I didn't know you were looking for it.
How much was it?
I don't know. I couldn't see it because they had it like in a bin that was like out of reach.
Oh.
They had Lords of Shadow and Lords of Shadow 2 right next to each other.
Well, I've got Lords of Shadow 1. I don't have the second one.
Yeah, they had Lords of Shadow. I didn't see a Mirror of Fate. I didn't see one of those. There actually was a very low amount of 3DS games.
Yeah, there really was. So, Spirit Camera, which is about a $40 game. We found 1 copy of that at the Classic for $60, which
Yep.
out
of our interest.
I'm just gonna probably end up buying it on eBay because I can get close to that $40. Let me see. Alien Resurrection's on my list, but that's like a $40 game. We were finding it like loose, like just disc only for $50. So that yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. Believe it or not, Marvel Superheroes is on my list. I didn't see a single one. Metal Gear Solid VR missions because I didn't get it complete. I didn't see a copy of it.
There was one.
God damn you.
It was on like the first table.
Was it?
Yeah.
How much was it though?
I don't know.
God bless it.
I didn't know you were looking for it.
Man, I gotta give these things to you then.
You some bitch. Yeah, there was one complete copy. It was like under a couple of other games. You stupid son bitch. It might be in one of the pictures that you took.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wouldn't be in a case. Oh.
Let me see.
But yeah,
it's. I mean, there's a lot of the PlayStation 3 games that I was looking for, like Saw 2, Shadows of the Damned, even Jericho. I didn't even see a copy of Jericho.
I feel like I did see a Shadows of the Damned, but I might not have.
Probably not. Because
Probably
I've talked about it for a while.
Yeah.
For Xbox, Curse the Eye of Isis. I didn't.
Fuck.
Yeah, I didn't see a copy of that.
Wouldn't even know what it looked like if you showed me.
Nope. So I mean, there's. Yeah, there wasn't really a whole lot that we were able to cross off our list that we saw. There was a lot of. Surprisingly, a lot of people had PS1 games, which I don't think that we've seen in years past, like the PS1 games to that degree.
Not to that degree. There was a very large amount of PS1, PS... not really PS2. It was just a lot
not
of
as much
PS1.
yeah.
A lot more Dreamcast.
Yes.
Than
There's
I
definitely a
would've
lot more
thought.
Dreamcast now.
Yeah, we did come across an Ill Bleed, which is one I was looking for, and I don't know if anybody even knows what the fuck this is. The Ring, Terror's Realm for the Dreamcast as well.
Yeah.
I found them at one booth. It was overpriced, like $10. That's fine. To be honest, Paul and I don't really care for that vendor, so we didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to give him my business.
Yep.
Because it's less than ethical practices
Yeah.
in the gaming community, and I personally refuse to patron a place that does some shitty stuff, especially in retro gaming.
Yeah.
So I won't name him, because I mean, let's be honest, that motherfucker doesn't watch us. Who gives a shit?
he doesn't.
But I'm not gonna.
But
I'm
we're not going to soil
say
it for anybody else
Yes.
who still has not been tainted by it as well.
But I only saw the one copy of Illbleed. I only saw that one copy of The Ring. Like, I didn't see shit.
There was a lot of tables that had Sega Saturn games too. I don't remember.
And Sega CD.
Yeah, I don't remember there being that many. However, though, there wasn't as many super rare Sega Saturn titles, but just people had a lot more of the Sega Saturn games.
Only one copy of Panzer Dragoon Saga this year.
Yes,
that we saw. I didn't see a single copy of Magic Knight Raider.
Nope, not a single
throughout
copy.
the entire convention.
Not a single copy.
Which is unusual, because that one year we saw like 6 copies of Panzer Dragoon.
Mm-hmm. And I think we saw like 3 copies of Magic Knight Raider too, didn't we? Or 2 at least.
I want to say Sega CD and Saturn is hitting that point where that's your money makers. I mean, you're talking Albert Odyssey, your Lunar 2. These are all hitting like $350 to $400
Guardian
games.
Heroes, yeah.
Dark Savior complete, $150. That's still a good chunk. Like, a lot of the Saturn games are getting up to that price. Shining the Holy Ark, it's about $300. Like, those games are going for a good fucking
money.
chunk.
Good money. Yeah.
And that's probably why they have more now than they used to. But
it could be. It's the time to sell.
But PS2, like, there were only a couple copies of Kuon that I saw. They wanted $1,000. That's $300 over what it's going for.
There was one that I think they wanted $700 for it, and it was no manual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So at that point, it's like I think it's complete. It's what, $720, $730? Like I don't know what it is.
It's not that much. $730, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's been kind of.
But either way,
fluctuating.
$700 for just the game and the case is no. You're nowhere near that.
No, you're not. And we saw good old Bonk. We saw Bonk's Adventure there.
I was excited to see that back.
Me too.
It wasn't at the 2021 Midwest Gaming Classic, or at least I didn't see it there.
No.
So I was really worried about it. I was really worried that somebody actually bought that game. And thank God, nobody bought it.
Nobody bought it.
Because it was back at the Midwest Gaming Classic 2022.
And we kind of talked about this a little bit. Bonk's Adventure, right?
Yeah.
So that complete copy, we have some pictures that I'll put up of Bonk. That complete copy was $2,500? Maybe you should just pull up your photos and we can go over the photos.
Yeah, let me see.
I'm pretty sure it was $2,500 or $2,600 or something along those lines.
Hold on.
So that game even new, I don't think I think it's like 16, right?
Did you? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't think I took a picture of that one.
It's a good thing I did.
That was the $2,400 one, right? Or $2,500?
It's a good thing I took a picture of it.
Oh, good.
2,500.
Yeah.
$2,500 right there.
I didn't take that one. Yep,
Bunks Adventure. Andy, throw up the pictures.
Yep, there it is.
Here we go. Bunks Adventure, $2,500.
Nice.
We also found a loose copy of Bunks Adventure for $1,200.
Mm-hmm. Loose.
Loose!
The game right now is it's about $910 right now. So, I mean, you're looking at like $300 that they're tacking onto it.
Even complete, I think, is only $1,200. Or like 15. Why don't we just look it up?
You could just look it up.
But it's fucking insanity.
It drives me nuts because, I mean, yes, you have a rare game like Bonk's Adventure. Everybody knows it's rare. Everybody knows it's expensive. But you literally have a game that's $900. If you are paying convention prices or you're selling at convention prices, maybe 1,000. Like, tack on an extra 100. Okay, yeah. I can understand that. When you're tacking on an extra 300 or more dollars for a game, like, why? Is somebody realistically gonna buy that?
Case in point, Panzer Dragoon Saga. The one copy we saw, they wanted $19.75.
That's not $19.75. That's $1,975. Almost $2,000.
Kids,
that is almost double the price of what it is right now.
Kids, complete Panzer Dragoon Saga is like $11.70.
And that's
where did this extra $800 come from?
And that's why I'm saying I don't understand the mindset, the logic. Like, I don't think that anybody's actually going to go into the Classic and just be so impulsive that it's like, oh my God, they've actually got a copy of Panzer Dragoon Saga. Oh man, it's 2,000, but you know what? I gotta get it. No, at that price, no, you don't.
No.
Like, they're not gonna just say like, well, it's an $1,100 game. I can't just. Maybe because it was the only one at the Classic.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tack on an additional $200 because the person's then forced to, like, if you want it in person, if you want it here, sorry, this is what you're gonna have to pay. I can understand that, but double the price. I'm sorry. Take your chances on eBay. Take your chances on Amazon.
So Bonk's Adventure, to digress a little bit, complete $1,615. New, it's like $6,000, but that's
weird.
That's weird.
But complete.
But still, that's $1,000 over.
It's $1,000 over what their price was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Panzer Dragoon Saga, $11.20 new or complete. New, it's only $13.23. But who knows what that means?
Mm-hmm.
But like that's kind of.
But and this is a perfect example though. Is that I saw in one of the cases they had Resident Evil Deadly Silence.
Yeah, I saw
for $150, and they also had Ghost Trick right next to it for $150. And this is where I think that a lot of like it's somewhat insidious what they do with the prices. So Ghost Trick is about a $120 to maybe closer to $130 game. So $150, not out
of the realm.
Not out of the realm to ask for $150. Then you've got Resident Evil Deadly Silence right next to it at $150, and you think, oh, those games must be like on
must
par.
Be close.
Must be close because the one's close. No, Resident Evil Deadly Silence just passes the $100 mark, just barely. So you're talking about a $50 price increase.
It's 50% markup.
It's a 50% markup, and we were seeing that in so many situations where the price markup was just like $40, $50, $60, where it's like you're already walking the line of like, okay, this might be a little bit too much, but you might be able to convince me. Every time we saw a price like that, it's just like, nope, walk away. I don't even care what else you offer. It's just, no.
Like that rad robotic alchemic drive I was looking for, I did see. They wanted $140. That game only goes for like $104.
Yeah.
That's $30 over. Like
and another one we saw is, and granted, this game, Persona.
Yeah.
Persona
Revelations.
Yeah, Persona Revelations for the PS1. That game is, and it ebbs and flows, but I think it's around like the $400 mark now, or it could be approaching the $400 mark. But somebody wanted $600 for it.
Get the fuck
It's
out
like, come on, you're literally a markup that's like double or like 50% of what the value of the game is. Like, come on.
Yeah, and that seemed to be a common theme this year, which is, where did it come from? Is it possible that because this classic is so close to the last, that they're just trying to get more? Like, why?
I don't think so. I honestly, because that would have no bearing. That has no bearing on it. The price, honestly, the supply would be more so compromised because of how close it is. Like they were not able to get as many supplies or as good of quality of stuff. Quantities could not be replenished because there was less time to, like, in between the classics.
Yeah.
But the prices, that is completely independent of the sellers in there. That has nothing to do with how close it was.
Yeah, it was very, very strange. I did see a copy of Lunacy for the Sega Saturn. They wanted $600. Goes for $440.
Yeah.
Like, it was by far the most disappointing fucking classic we've ever had.
To add to that, and this is one point that you may not understand as much, just because you haven't gone to as many, but I have gone to comic book conventions, Comic-Con, C2E2, all the stuff around like the Midwest and stuff. I love a good comic book convention. They've got their place. I love going. When I go to a video game convention, I want to see video games.
Yeah.
And it seemed like this year, more so than any other year in the past, we saw an entire booth that was dedicated to pop figures, which I can guarantee you, in any convention you go to, yes, there's probably going to be a dealer who literally deals in nothing but pops, regardless of what the convention is. But we were seeing things like...
I feel like I saw two of them that
probably,
were all pop figures.
Probably. You had art prints, you had...
Apparel.
Plushies, things of that nature. At least that's video game related. But then you had a lot of, like, there was one photo that we can put up here where it's like, it's literally a bunch of like action figures and toys that had nothing to do with video games.
Right.
And so I literally took a picture thinking to myself, like, if somebody saw this picture, somebody would say like, oh, what convention is that? Comic-Con, or is that Chicago? Is that Atlanta? Is that San Diego? Like, no, it's the Midwest Gaming Classic. And it felt more now than ever before that it's almost like the Midwest Gaming Classic is getting out of video games.
Yeah.
And they're morphing to other stuff now.
Considering you had booths that were dedicated to, like, basement restoration, windows, like replacing your windows at a gaming convention. Like, who's like, oh fuck, I remember Donkey Kong. I should probably spend the $20,000 to get some new windows though.
Yeah.
Like, there were just booths with nothing.
Or I made the comment to you. It's like, CGC is a comic book grading company. That grades cards, they grade comic books. Well, apparently now they're going to be entering the video game market, so CGC is now going to grade video games. So they had a booth there. They didn't have anything to offer. They were just basically saying that they are now entering the video game market and that we should start seeing graded video games from them by the end of this year.
It was a table with signage.
But it was literally a table with signage. Why couldn't you just literally just make a banner and just put that somewhere and say, hey, I'll pay the grounds $200 if they could just hang this somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's all you need.
You needed a whole booth?
But now you've taken away that space from somebody who could have been providing video games or that was supposed to provide video games, and it's less of the video game market that you're seeing at a video game convention.
Well, that's like we were complaining about, we saw WATA there, and they had like a double booth, but there's like nothing for sale there.
No, they basically just display their WATA graded games, and
which I'm surprised they had the balls to even be there.
I am just surprised because I still don't think that they've ever recovered their reputation from what happened. Was it last year or 2020?
I think last year. Yeah.
Yeah, last year. So I mean, I power to them for trying.
They got some set of balls, man.
Yeah, but I mean, it's at the same time, like, again, you are providing nothing to
You're not
this
selling
dimension.
anything.
You're not selling anything. You're not promoting anything that...
Which, That was one thing I saw a lot more of too. Was a lot of vendors selling graded games. Like, is that a thing? Like, is that a market right now? Like, why would you want?
It's one that I don't want to see it come to video games.
Like, I'm sorry, but you're.
But grading has basically taken over all of like sport cards and trading cards,
which I'm sure has its place.
A lot
in
more
preservation.
people. Yeah, a lot more people do more grading than they do just non-grading when it comes to selling stuff.
Yeah.
Comics, you see it a lot, and now I think they're trying to get video games to be that next thing that's what they're going to be pushing for the grading.
I mean, I get that, but like when you have a store or that has a booth there and you're selling all these different games and you're selling graded games, generally your market is not people who would be buying graded games.
It's not the people who, if you're at a video game convention, there is more chance that you're looking for games that you want to buy so that you can play them.
Right.
You can't do that with a graded game unless you crack it open. You're already paying a premium for it because it's graded, but then you crack it open just to open it up to play it. Like,
I made that joke where it's like, I wish I could go up to one of the booths and be like, oh, can I get that 9.2 graded game for whatever amount, and then crack it open in front of them and take the wrap off and be like, God, I can't wait to play this when I get home. Oh, you can have this back. Like, I understand its purpose, you know, and as far as preservation goes, sure. But, like, the family type atmosphere that's there, who's looking for your Donkey Kongs, your Super Mario Brothers, because they have their kids there, are not going to be going for that kind of shit.
No, they're not looking for graded games.
Like, why even have it? I don't know. Maybe that's just maybe it's more speaks to us and how we are.
I think it just there's definitely more of the collector mind will go after graded games versus the actual diehard gamers. They don't care if a game is sealed. In fact, some people actually will, if they buy a game sealed, they'll open it so that they can play it, because games were not meant to be sealed. Right. They were meant to be open to be interacted with.
Yeah.
So I hope that grading doesn't necessarily overtake the hobby, but at this point, who knows? Maybe it will.
I don't know, but
but all I know is that combined with everything that we saw, the prices, this classic, it really lacked a lot.
It hurt. It was. I was looking forward to this all week.
Quite possibly to the point to where, I mean, because the tickets to get in are like $50 if you're buying just a 1-day pass. That
was not.
I may take a break from next year's classic.
If I hadn't bought Pokemon Stadium 2, I don't think I would have spent enough to cover the ticket.
No,
I would have spent more on the ticket than I did things to buy.
Yeah.
Because I had a hard time finding shit to buy. I had a hard time buying for this video.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm gonna throw up a slew of the pictures of just how bad some of these prices were. Like, we got a Rule of Rose.
$850 for it. Complete the game is like $600, maybe $630, $640. And this game complete was $850. I remember like a couple years ago where, I mean,
when we got it for what, $250?
No. Well, that was like 2015, I think. But $250.
No, yes. we recorded it.
No,
so
I know.
It was around the first one.
Oh, yes, that's true.
So it's 2018, maybe.
But it was $250. But I remember that there was only like 2 booths that had Rule of Rose at that time.
Rule of Rose was hard to find.
And then in like 2019, 2020, or like whatever it was, it was one year, it was everywhere. And now we're back to like there's 2 copies. One was $850. There was another one that was $550, but that's because it did not have a manual. It was just box and case. Game and case.
I did see a booth that had a shitload. It had like little Samson. It had like Flintstone Surprise at Dinosaur Peak. It had a bunch of those heavy hitter NES titles, but it had no price tag on them. I almost wonder if they did that because they know that the only people who are going to be looking for that are the people who know how much it goes for.
Or the people like us who see and then they hear like, okay, how much is that? Oh, that's $2,000. and I'm walking away. I don't even care what other stuff you have. I'm walking away.
That, like I said, the only people who are going to inquire about that are the educated buyers who know what the games are supposed to go for, and you throw a price on there, they're just going to walk away from your whole booth.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the most expensive game that I saw at the Classic this year was Flintstone Surprise Dino Peak. A complete copy of it was $3,000. And
please tell me you had a picture of that.
I did.
Thank God.
But ironically, on price charting, it's actually like a $3,200 game complete.
Wow.
And it was the only super expensive game that I saw somebody actually interact with.
Really?
The guy was actually interested in getting that, and he had with him a complete copy of Crusader of Senti as to trade to offset. I'm guessing to offset some of the cost.
Yes,
of
because
the game.
if I'm not mistaken, Crusader of Senti is like a big fucking money.
It's
right
I think
now.
at least $1,600 complete.
So Crusader of Senti cart alone is at $611.
Yeah. Complete what?
No, $1,392.
Oh, $1,392. So
brand new, you're talking $3,500.
Oh, okay. So basically it takes off like
it shaves it in half.
It shaves it in half. Yeah,
just under half, I guess.
But the guy was like legit. Like it looked like he was interested in it. So I'm like, okay.
You would need like a Hagani, a complete Hagani to barter with that.
We didn't see any Haganis.
We didn't see any.
Not a single one. No.
That one fucking blew up in price too.
Well, that's over $1,000 too.
Yeah, Hagani fucking got insane. I didn't see any Evos either. EVOs for the what you call it? Super Nintendo.
For the Super Nintendo. Wow.
Hagani 999.95.
Yeah.
Yeah, complete 3240. The only thing you could that would be a straight up swap. Hagani and Flintstone Surprise at Dinosaur Peak, although to be honest, Surprise at Dinosaur Peak is probably a better deal considering how few copies there are.
Yes, correct. Especially that are complete.
Yes.
But one thing I didn't realize, actually, as I'm looking through a lot of these expensive games, there was a lot more sealed games than there have been. I didn't realize that until just now, that there was a lot of sealed games.
I wonder why.
Maybe... I don't want to say it, but maybe the hobby it's moving more towards, it's trying to cater to the collectors versus the actual gamers. But
you know what kills me is
I don't know.
So I bought a copy of Nano Breaker for the PS2, right? I want to read the instructions, but I didn't realize the copy I bought was still sealed. And it's almost kind of killing me to want to break that seal just to read the instructions.
You suck.
I mean, Nano Breaker's not an expensive game by any stretch of the fucking imagination.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to look that up real quick, but yeah, like, yeah, Nano Breaker, you're talking 1751 complete, new $30. Like,
oh my God.
It's not expensive.
No. I completely forgot about the Game Boy booth.
Oh my God!
The Game Boy booth. So, I saw a Game Boy booth. Like, this guy, he had a lot of rare Game Boy games that I was not expecting to see. And one of them in there was Shaq Fu.
Shaq Fu!
Shaq Fu! So, I saw the price, and I'm like, holy crap, has that game exploded in price? They were asking $2.99 for it. Not $2.99, mind you, $299. I looked it up on price charting, also looked at some eBay comps. You're looking at like between $70 and $80 for that game.
Yeah! That's a 200%!
Over $200! More than
200% markup!
Snow Bros, which was like kitty corner from it, $224 they were asking. Right now on price charting, $124. It's literally it's
your theory actually, or your hypothesis, almost kind of holds water. You put two games next to each other with the same price, you kind of figure they're the same caliber.
Yeah,
that's actually not a bad hypothesis.
I mean, maybe
because that seemed to be a thing on a lot of booths.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of booths. So it's this Classic was just.
It was.
I don't know, man.
No, it was honestly, it was thoroughly disappointing just because of that fact. That I mean, the the variety of games that they had to offer just didn't seem like it was that great this year.
No.
And the prices just, like, you already went in with, like, a killed mojo because you didn't have, like, a lot of assortment, a lot of variety to look through. But then when you did, the prices were just so outlandishly, like, crazy that it's
just out of this world.
It just completely killed whatever, like, joy that you had. Yeah. Like, going into it.
Last year was such a high.
Oh, my God.
Because the deals were so good.
They were.
That this year, like you said, it almost kind of makes me not want to go next year.
I honestly will... I'm going to think long and hard about going to the Midwest Gaming Classic next year. It was really that
depressing.
There was that much. Oh God, how do I say this?
I got more of a joy.
There was not as much enjoyment out of it this year.
Not at all. Yeah. In fact, we were home a lot earlier than we usually are.
Lack of enjoyment.
Yes,
yeah.
I mean, usually we're there for quite some time.
Oh yeah,
we came home until like 4 or 5 hours early.
Yeah, usually we're there until like
5,
4 or 5. We leave about 5 o'clock.
We left at like 12:30.
I think we were gone by like before 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is sad. Like I got bigger rush and enjoyment out of like winning Kuon on eBay for 5 something or winning Rule of Rose for almost 200 under or 100 under what it goes for.
Yeah.
Then I did going to this classic and seeing just the lack of games. Like, it was almost kind of mind-blowing. And I know usually we get some comments about how people stop going. Like, they're like, oh, I'm glad I didn't go this year because the variety didn't look that great. I usually kind of blow it off because it's like, oh, no, the variety was still good. And the prices were still okay. It's just we kind of portray more of the expensive side of it, but there was no escaping it.
No.
There was no booth that was on point.
No.
Every booth was fucking inflated.
Just about, yeah.
And this hobby is dying, but it's dying to us.
It's just,
as far as this goes.
It's really starting to look like a different environment that we're just not.
The pandemic fucked this up.
Well, I don't know if it was that.
Because it did. There was somebody talking next to me while I was perusing a booth. He was talking about how the fucking pandemic inflated retro game prices through the roof.
Oh, yes. During the pandemic, yes.
And that's partly to blame for this.
Yeah,
is why these games are going for what they're going for now.
But once we got out of the pandemic, though...
The prices stayed there.
No, the prices started going down on a lot of games.
Not much.
No, there's some games that I have that were like... I'm talking like a couple $100, and now they're like not even $100.
It.
I can't think of it.
Exactly.
Shut up.
Nice try. I don't believe it.
No.
But like we talked about the bubble, the retro gaming collecting bubble, and I think unfortunately it's still inflating. Especially since we're starting to see it expand in other areas now. It was bad in, like, the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Genesis. Not so much Genesis, I guess, other than, like, a handful of games. But now we're really seeing it in, like, Saturn, Sega CD, PS1, PS2 especially.
Yeah.
You talk about PS2 games. Holy shit. They're insanely expensive, especially certain genres. Like, I know we've talked about the survival horror genre is probably one of the most expensive genres to get into right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, you're talking, like, even the first Fatal Frame, it's about $70 to $90.
I mean, even just games that are common as can be, like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Silent Hill is over $200.
Oh my God, Silent Hill we saw at this classic, people were $250, $275, $300.
Yeah.
I think I only saw a couple Silent Hill 2s, and they were ridiculous as well.
Because they, like, some of them were sealed.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe resorting to eBay sadly,
to be quite honest, it almost feels like either that or else just going to the classic like mom and pop stores, like video game stores that are still out there that maybe you'll find a good deal. Going to a thrift.
Go to Game Trade and De Pere. Game Trade Greg's a good guy.
Game Trade and De Pere.
Yeah,
ask for Greg. Tell him Power Trip Gaming sent you.
Yeah,
he honestly is.
He had good prices. He was good.
To be quite honest, a lot. So I travel a lot, and I stop at every video game store that I can that is local to that area that I'm in, and there have been few exceptions where or not few exceptions. There have only been a couple times where I have gone to stores where the people were really nice and the prices were like reasonable and logical too.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest, I've met some great people at those stores, but Greg's store in De Pere, Game Trade, honestly, he's the only one who he was fantastic to talk to. Yeah. Had a great conversation, and his prices were realistic.
Yeah.
And I feel like
he was a good person, good to deal with.
Yeah. And I feel like that is dying.
Yeah.
And it scares... Well, it doesn't really scare me. It makes me sad.
It makes me sad, too.
Yeah.
So, anything else to add? I'm defeated.
Not really. I really just... I can't believe, like, you build up the classic in your head, and you're just like, you're excited because you're like, oh, what am I gonna find this year? Like, what? Oh God, how many copies of this game am I gonna find? And it's like none. This is.
I brought quite a bit of money with me, and I didn't spend any of it. And that's not that I'm depressed about that, but I was fully ready to spend it.
And I was actually scared because I only brought half of what I wanted to bring.
Yeah.
And I still didn't even... I think I only spent half of what I brought.
You spent half of that? You spent a fourth?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
This might be a series that comes to an end, too. Just like Video Games Monthly and the Midwest Gaming Classics. Like this.
Oh God, yeah, maybe
it's almost getting harder and harder to do game hunts.
Yeah,
you know. What's a hobby that hasn't been tapped yet? Let's get into depression glass.
No. Let's go back. Let's go back to Pogs. Before those pick up again. Exactly. I swear to shit. If Pogs start coming back, I'm done. I'm done with collecting. Because then that means that anything that you even have a remote interest in is going to come around full circle where all of a sudden now the prices are skyrocketing. As like I can't do it anymore.
It's a shame you didn't finish your Game Boy collection there.
No.
Prices were too unreasonable.
It is a shame. Yeah.
Fucking damn shame.
Fucking Chris Vanderhoff still has a chance. He wants to beat me to collecting his Sega Master System games.
Only 3 to go.
He's only got 3 to go.
That Buster Fugless might screw him over, but he's closer than you are.
Who knows at this point. Yeah.
So there you guys go. Sorry, this wasn't an upbeat one.
No, it really wasn't.
This was hard.
So you know what? Hopefully, you know what? Comment. Let us know if you went to the Midwest Gaming Classic. Please let us know what you found, what you thought, if it was better than in years past, or if you had a similar experience to it. But we would love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
And see what you thought.
If you were a vendor, what the fuck were you thinking? Yeah. Tell us what the fuck you were. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but
like, I want to hear from a vendor.
I do. I just want to hear their mindset. Like what? Like why charge if you have a $800 game? Why charge $1,000 more? Like, what is? I mean, ultimately,
the Panzer Dragoon Saga one is the one I don't understand.
ultimately, yes, the goal is to make as much money as possible.
Obviously.
If you find some sucker who's going to pay $2,000 for it, power to you. But honestly, where is the rationale to pricing it that way when you know full well that it's probably not going to sell? You have a 90% chance of it selling. If you marked it down to $1,500, all of a sudden your chances are exponentially going up.
Yeah. I was gonna say 13, but to be honest, 15 probably would.
I feel like a lot of people would still consider it, even though that's like $400 more. But I still feel like a lot of people would consider it at that point.
Yeah, I really am curious.
I really just would like to know the mindset behind it.
Me too.
Yeah.
So that'll do it for the 2022 Midwest Gaming Classic. Maybe we'll be back next year. It's going to take a lot of convincing.
Don't ask me now. Because
Yeah.
if you ask me now, the answer is no.
No.
We will not be back for next year, but
You never know.
who knows?
Who knows?
2023 may be a different story, and after a year, we may feel different and want to go back. So
Yeah. So hit us up on Facebook.
hit us up on Twitter.
Go to powertripgaming.tv. Takes you right to the channel where you can watch us play through the entire NES library of North American licensed games.
You can watch our SideQuest material where we play games that aren't the NES, like the SNES, the Genesis, the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, anything else. Saturn. Yeah.
You can go to iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify for the PTG Powercast, where we talk about many various things.
You almost had it.
Almost did.
If you do not like social media or you do not have social media accounts, you can always send us an email at nespowertrip@gmail.com, and we will comment and answer whatever questions you have.
Absolutely. So, with that, next time on Power Trip,
We'll actually play a game.
yeah, we'll play something we actually bought.
Mm-hmm.